Now at 11, a scathing report against the Louisville Police Department after the investigation into the deadly shooting of Breonna Taylor. Plus, utility crews making progress in restoring power to homes and businesses in central Kentucky. And fans in Lexington pulling together to help the UK hockey team get to a national championship.
I'm Chief Meteorologist T.J. Shuck. Another cool evening across central and eastern Kentucky. We're going to be around freezing in the morning, and I think as we head into the late week, you're going to need the rain gear, at least from time to time. Your Storm Team forecast is coming up.
ABC 36 News at 11 starts right now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Anna Medina. Paxton Boyd is on assignment and you'll get to hear from him in a little bit. But first, in our top story at 11, the Justice Department unveiling a sweeping report against Louisville police. The 2-year investigation finding officers using unreasonable tactics and excessive force. As MWIN reports, the review was launched after the department's botched raid that killed Breonna Taylor.
The Justice Department issuing a scathing report on the Louisville Police Department following a 2-year probe launched in the wake of the botched raid that resulted in Breonna Taylor's death.
Ms. Taylor's death brought immeasurable pain both to her family and to this community. This conduct is unacceptable. It is heartbreaking.
U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland saying they believe the LMPD used excessive force and engaged in a pattern that violates the First and Fourth Amendments, which ensures freedom of speech and assembly and protects against unreasonable searches and seizures. The report also finding the LMPD executes search warrants without knocking or announcing and has practiced an aggressive style of policing, especially against black people.
Some have videotaped themselves throwing drinks at pedestrians from their cars, insulted people with disabilities, and called black people monkeys, animal, and boy.
The report coming months after 4 former officers were indicted in August in connection to Taylor's death.
It's not just what happened at Breonna Taylor's home, but what led up to it.
The Justice Department says federal and local officials have agreed to enter a court-enforceable consent decree as the department makes the agreed-upon changes, and that the Louisville Metro and LMPD has been cooperating with the investigation and has already made some changes.
We are committed to work collaboratively and earnestly with all necessary parties.
This is one of 8 investigations into law enforcement agencies opened by the Justice Department, which includes the Minneapolis Police Department following the death of George Floyd. MWIN, ABC News, Washington.
Now the latest on those power outages here in central Kentucky after Friday's deadly storms. Now this is a live look at the KU power outage map. Right now, less than 1,000 homes and businesses without electricity in Lexington, and only about 10 homes without power in Woodford County. On Friday, more than 500,000 people were without electricity across the state after the windstorm. The storm's killing 5 people, including a 41-year-old woman here in Lexington who died after a tree fell on her car. TG, a lot cooler temperatures, and I heard you say that we might need a rain jacket as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's going to come as we kind of finish out the week here. But it's good that they're, of course, getting the power restored because it was cold this morning and we are set up for another cold start into Thursday. Clouds and that northeast wind holding our temperatures in check this afternoon. We've seen some clearing, but looking back to the west, some additional scattered cloudiness will drift eastward during the overnight. That's not going to keep us from falling down into the 30s where we already are in a number of locations. Our Bluegrass Pace Care, Skyview HD Camera Network, Hicks and Funson, Cam 38 here in Lexington. Winds have lightened up. They're still out of the northeast. Notice most locations upper 30s to low 40s over the next 36 hours. You'll need the jackets in the morning as we're right around the freezing mark. A touch milder tomorrow as that next wave of low pressure moves our direction. I think the rain, especially west and south of Lexington, probably in here by the evening hours. Bulk of it will fall overnight into early Friday. Temperatures cool down. That's a prelude of things to come this weekend. More on that in your 7-day here in just a few.
Thank you, TG. Now to Frankfort. A bill to legalize sports betting in Kentucky is moving forward. A House committee approved House Bill 551 earlier today. The bill would legalize, regulate, and tax sports betting in the state. The Kentucky Horse Racing Commission would regulate the industry. The bill now heads to the full House for consideration. Now to an exciting story for UK hockey fans. A few weeks ago, the team received an invitation to the ACHA 2023 National Championships. However, because they're not an NCAA team, they're not funded by the school, meaning if they wanted to go, they would have to raise their own money. Earlier today, I caught up with the general manager who shared with me a big update. So will they be able to go to Boston?
Thank you, BBN. But for this year to go to the regional tournament, win it, and get that bid to nationals is definitely an accomplishment for everybody on the team.
It's a dream that's been in the works since their last trip to the national championships back in 2008.
Oh, I mean, when I got the text message, I was just blown away. I couldn't believe it. I had to read it a couple times just to let it sink in that we're really there. Like, we actually have met our goal. So yeah, it's pretty phenomenal.
The Kentucky hockey team has been hard at work, not only qualifying, but also fundraising. With the team not being an NCAA team, they're not funded by the school.
Yeah, we've definitely come a long way. This was not a overnight sensation by any stretch of the word. I mean, this has been a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication that me and the coaching staff have put in over the last couple of years. Shop Local Kentucky put out a T-shirt for us yesterday, and the word is from them they sold enough of them that their contribution will put us over the top.
UK hockey general manager Ryan Van Daniker says he's blown away by how the community responded to help make their trip possible.
Just, thanking the Big Blue Nation for stepping up and supporting us. Definitely have felt the love over the last 10 days or so since we started this. And it's really overwhelming to know how much support there is for us out there in the community.
Van Daniker adds that what's to come for the team will be an unforgettable experience.
And our first game will be on the 17th on St. Patty's Day at 11 o'clock. We'll be ready to go. I know the boys are excited and they're looking forward to it. I mean, this really is a once-in-a-lifetime kind of opportunity.
A big weekend for UK basketball fans as the Cats are in Nashville prepping for their debut in the SEC tournament. And you might have been wondering where our ABC 36's Paxton Boyd and sports director Jeff Pecora are at. Well, they're down in Nashville to bring us all the action. Good evening, gentlemen. How is Nashville treating you? And more importantly, how are preps going for the Cats?
Yeah, it's chilly here. Things are going great down here, Anna. We're getting a clearer picture of who the Cats will play on Friday night in their first game here in Nashville. Of course, Georgia and LSU going down to the wire. Vanderbilt awaits the winner of that game, and then the winner of that game gets the Cats on Friday night here, Jeff.
Yeah, excitement is here, obviously. Behind us, you could see the arena. Above that is the SEC fan zone, and a lot of people are here. We've seen a bunch of Kentucky fans, but because of the lateness of the game on Friday night, I really don't expect many fans to come until Thursday and even Friday, because obviously if you can save a day, especially with the prices down here, that's a lot. But I expect by Friday that obviously this will be Cat Nashville again, as it always is. But hey, I want to just say one thing. Congratulations to the UK hockey team. If you've never gone out there and seen them play at midnight, it is unbelievable at the ice centers have gone out and do that. So congratulations. This game right now is going right down to the wire. LSU and Georgia. LSU's had a big lead most of the game. Georgia's battled back. It's a 3-point game now. First game, Ole Miss comes back and wins that one. So a lot of excitement here in this city. If you've never been to Nashville, it is always jumping, and especially on a Wednesday night.
And a great crowd here, especially for a Wednesday night here at Bridgestone Arena. We've seen all the schools well represented here. We've seen some UK fans, of course, like Jeff said. We do expect more to trickle in as the week continues and then be ready to fully take over Nashville by Friday night. All right, reporting live from Nashville outside of Bridgestone Arena, Jeff Pecora, Paxton Boyd. Anna, we'll send it back to you. We'll see you again in the sports block coming up here in just a few minutes.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. Stay warm down there. Well, still ahead, the latest in the fight against the fentanyl crisis and crew members taken to the hospital after a train derailment in West Virginia.